On my last Jack-specific Super Mario action figures unboxing video, I had so much fun unboxing, reviewing, and playing with those action figures that I realized I have no bad guys to really have a good playtime. So I went on eBay and I got myself the baddest one of them all, Bowser! I got him loose, so there's no unboxing, but we can review it. But at the same time, I wasn't done just getting Bowser. I also got a red Koopa Troopa. Just a few days later, I found this Tanooki Mario at Ross. Let's unbox these two, review all three, and let's bring out all my figures out of the Ziploc bag and have some fun. This Bowser was released in 2014 under the World of Nintendo toy line, which is basically the same as the Super Mario, it's just they're rebranded. He was released 2 other times. The first time under the brand of World of Nintendo, and the second time under the brand of Super Mario World. I was just going to stop with Bowser as my main bad guy. I was bidding on something else on eBay, and I noticed that that seller was selling this guy for 99 cents, and I thought, if I could get it for 99 cents, why not? And I got it for 99 cents. Red Koopa Troopa is from 2022, Wave 28. And the other figures in this series that you can collect are Raccoon Mario, Bone Piranha Plant, Shy Guy, and Cat Peach. When encountering a Koopa Troopa, Mario can jump on them and use their shells as a projectile to defeat other enemies. Perfect guy to get. And looking for cheap G.I. Joe classifieds at Ross, I found Tanooki Mario. And he looks cute. He looks funny. He looks like he's ready to go to bed. Got him for $4.99, released in 2023, Wave 35. The other figures in this series that you can collect are Shy Guy, Luigi, Toad, and Larry. Tanooki Mario with Super Leaf. In some games, after grabbing a Super Leaf, Mario transforms into Tanooki Mario and gains the ability to glide and tail whip enemies. Let's unbox them, let's put them next to Bowser, and let's review them all. And before we do all that, let's smell him. He smells really, really good. And he's really difficult to get out. Come on, Tanooki. Let's go, Mario. There we go. Red Koopa Troopa. It's a lot easier to take out. Oh, we didn't smell him. Smells good, good. Not as good as this Mario, though. Let's take a look at Bowser, or otherwise also known as King Koopa. And he looks badass. Look at that. Not too much damage. Some of his spikes do have missing paint on it, but he's a 10-year-old toy that was owned by somebody else and played and loved by somebody else. Now I own him. He's in good hands, and I'm gonna take very, very good care of him. But I also want to play with this guy. He looks really cool. Look at that. The sculpting is amazing. They really, really nailed the look of King Koopa or Bowser. And he's also pretty heavy. Let's take a look at his articulation. He has no articulation at the head. He's got articulation at the shoulders, elbows, kind of on the wrist, but the hands don't move side to side, just a little bit up and down. And articulation at the hip and the tail for 9 points of articulation. Although he looks amazing and the size is really, really good, he is lacking, I think, in articulation. They could have given him some articulation at the jaw so he could chomp around like a shark. Maybe a little more articulation at the hands, at the arms, because he seems a little limited here. Like the hands don't turn. You can't make them kind of do like The Rock, like just bring it. I don't mind too much him not having knee articulation, as I think with all that weight, he would probably just buckle over and fall on his face all the time. He's super heavy. I think you could use him as a weapon. Just the lack of articulation brings the grade down for this figure with me. Instead of being an A or A plus, I would probably say he's a B, a solid B figure. And now taking a look at the red Koopa Troopa all the way around. It's sad to know that this is actually a bad guy and he's on the bad team, because his face, his whole sculpt is very friendly looking. He looks really cute. He looks really nice. And why not make him into a good guy? Well, because King Bowser says no. Now let's take a look at his articulation. He's got articulation at the head, all the way around, shoulder, elbows, wrist, hip, kind of like knee, foot. Wow, he's got a lot of articulation. For 14 points of articulation, there really isn't much to complain about this guy, except that maybe his shell popping off would have been really nice. And he comes with a question block, which is something I already have because another figure came with it. But I don't mind having more of these accessories. I would have to give this figure a B plus to an A minus. Look at that, he can do the splits. Put him at that and then have Mario come in. And now let's take a look at Mario. And he looks fantastic. But I had to pose him this way because his tail, every time I put him up there and left his tail up, well, this is what happened. He just falls over. So I had to point his tail down. And now we could look at him all the way around. This is a real nice simple sculpt. All you really had to make sure you got right was the face. Let's take a look at his articulation. He's got articulation at the head all the way around. Look at that. Shoulder, elbow, but no wrist, hip, and knee, and tail. For 12 points of articulation. The leaf is a nice, cute, simple mold with those cute little eyes. And I do already have one, as another Mario came with it. And since I have the Squirrel Mario out here, let's compare them to this Tanooki Mario. The tails seem to be the same, but they're actually not. As you can see, the Tanooki one is a little bigger. And height-wise, Tanooki Mario looks a little taller as well. This Mario actually has articulation at the wrist, but Tanooki Mario is missing that articulation at the wrist, which kind of limits his posability. I wish I could have made him have that articulation and kind of have that fist pointing up so that I could have articulated Mario saying to Koopa, "Come and get it." If he had that articulation at the wrist, this guy, I think he would be an A or A plus figure. With that lack of posability, I would have to bring it down to maybe an B plus, A minus. My final thoughts, I think these figures are really, really good and close to great, except for some lacking in articulation. But at the price I've been getting them, they are great. They're amazing. Look at this. It looks just like the video game. They're really, really cool. Bowser, I needed Bowser. Mario, what are you gonna do? It's you against two. Oh, now it's even. And we're not done yet. Uh-oh, it looks like Bowser needs some backup. Well, guess what? I just won this listing on eBay yesterday. So when it gets here, I'll unbox and review them all and give Bowser a nice chance at Mario, Luigi, Peach, and the rest, and see just what happens. Thank you for clicking on this video. My goal on YouTube is to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm not even halfway there. If you can help me out with that, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family.